Well, it's a busy time of year, winding down the month of August, flipping the calendar to September. A lot of kids heading back to school, Labor Day weekend forecast. We cover it all in this pattern predictions video, which is a 2-week weather outlook. Now, in our free 5-star rated weather app, you can get the 14-day forecast. Right in that middle tab, pinpoint your exact location. If you haven't downloaded our app yet, give it a try and let us know what you think. We know there's so many weather apps you can choose from, but we think you're going to love it. Our videos are right at the top as well. Now, this is what you may see change or shift a little bit in the app and the explanation behind the forecast. What we start with a lot of times in these videos for pattern predictions is the height to 500 millibars. What that is how high up you need to go in the atmosphere before you hit that pressure level. And warmer layers of the atmosphere are represented in these oranges here, the colder layers of the atmosphere in blue. And there's been no really change to the pattern that's been in place over the last couple of weeks. We've had some seasonable days. There have been some relatively cooler shots of air compared to the rest of the country. We've got a big Bermuda high, another dome of high pressure over the southern plains and the desert Southwest, and in between, these shots of cool air out of Alaska into the Pacific Northwest, a little bump up, and then cooler shots coming out of Canada, putting us kind of in the middle. A seasonable stretch, an active jet stream in place as well that we'll talk more about in a second. There are some signs that pattern may start to break down a little bit after Labor Day weekend, allowing for some warmth to return. But there are no big signs of intense heat in the next 2 weeks or substantial cooler than normal days as well. There's one exception to that. You notice this is the 2-week New England wide average, some upper 70s and lower 80s through much of the last week of August, through the first couple of days of September. Then there are some signs with the storm track to our south that we get kind of locked in this cooler pattern here as we head into Labor Day weekend. Cooler than average for the start of September. Normal highs are in the upper 70s or mid to upper 70s. So we'll be slightly cooler than that. I will fully admit that there are some signs that the coastline with an onshore wind, maybe even a little bit cooler than this. It will all have to do with the placement with the storm center leading into especially Thursday, Friday, September 3rd and 4th, and into Labor Day weekend. Although there are some signs we get back up to near average or maybe even slightly above that into Labor Day itself. So that's something to keep an eye on. Similarly, overnight lows are pretty seasonable, a little bit milder as we head into the Thursday night, Friday timeframe with a cold front coming in. So upper 50s to then mid 60s. That's one of the warmer overnight periods into Friday morning. And then generally either side of about 60 degrees for New England wide average through this extended period. Now, in terms of precipitation and the jet stream, very active pattern still. So the jet stream is essentially pretty zonal. Again, that means more west to east. You don't see these big bumps up or these big dips that come down, but it does mean an active pattern with multiple disturbances every couple days that may trigger and spark some showers and storms. I do want to stop things on Labor Day weekend. Keep in mind, this is just one depiction, but you get the overall theme, which is that there's going to be this kind of closed upper level low nearby. And what that may do is keep some unsettled weather around. The placement may be just to our south, but that also means we may have a cool onshore flow, at least to start Labor Day weekend. And that's why we have those cooler than average temperatures towards September 3rd, 4th, and then heading into Labor Day weekend itself. So it's something we'll be keeping an eye on closely, of course, the unofficial end to summer, right? Precipitation forecast over the next 10 days, a couple bullseyes, one down across the Gulf Coast states, another in the Midwest. And then here in New England too, a widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain likely. It will depend on placement of these disturbances as they come in. So on average, I do think we end up near average in terms of precipitation. Again, temperature wise will be near or maybe even slightly cooler than average as well. This is the precipitation forecast, the percent chance you get it. Again, not raining 70% of the day, for example, on Thursday. That is one thing I think you're going to notice. Thursday and Friday in the app has a lower chance of precipitation. I think that's going to bump up as we get closer here. As a cold front comes in, that will sweep scattered showers, downpours, and thunder in. Thursday, especially late day, Thursday night into early Friday. It is lower for the upcoming weekend, which is great news. And then next week, so the last day of August and the start of September, it's pretty much a 30 to 40% chance every day because there will be some weak disturbances and fast moving ones that come by. You do notice it's lower as we head into Labor Day itself. Of course, we'll keep you posted with the unofficial end to summer Labor Day weekend. All the details always at onedegreeoutside.com, our 24/7 streaming network at 1 Degree Outside Live, or on your smart TV. If you open up the YouTube app, you can search 1 Degree Outside Weather. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this 1 Degree Outside video.
Get exclusive content, support the mission at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. And don't forget, free and 5 stars on the App Store and Google Play. Search the #1 Degree Outside Weather.